Okay, second section, wet surface. What I did was I cleaned out my water cup, and I actually got a second water cup with a little bit of water in it. Since each of the surfaces that we're working on here are going to need to be wet, I have one that I can clean my brush in, and I have one that I can wash or add clean water to. All right, so the first one, what we're going to be doing is a wet and wet with one color. So I need to wet the surface of the paper first. So I'm using my clean water and just coat the entire circle with clean water. All right, not dripping wet, so you notice I didn't take any off. All right, so just fill the circle with clean water. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with one color, any color, doesn't matter. I've already used most of the prismatics, but I'm going to come in with a good amount of, let's try orange. All right. Same thing that happened when we did it on the values. Watch. See what happens with the water? All right. It creates a nice soft blend of the color. And where the water is out here, you can see the pigment just kind of follows the path of the water. And you can create really nice, if I clean my brush, I can create a really nice gradation, a single color value scale, just by cleaning my brush and then pulling the pigment down. You can see how it moves it around. Clean off my brush a little bit. I can come back in and create a transitional orange value scale. I can come in with more pigment if I wanted to and add some more pigment at the back edge with less water and create a nice transitional value scale using a single color. But you notice on a wet surface, all the brush strokes now are soft. We don't have any sharp brush strokes like we see in the first section. Everything is wet and soft. If we do a two-color wash here, again, I need to clean my brush and go to my clean water. I'm coming into my clean water here. Wet the surface. Now I want to do two colors. Now I'm going to come in with a bold violet color. Create some really cool atmospheric stuff where the water's puddling. Clean my brush. I'm going to use the complement. So I'm going into the yellow really, really heavily, because when I hit it in there, watch what happens. Just create some really cool atmospheric effects when you have a two-color wet and wet, almost like a tie-dye. Clean my brush again. The last one is going to be a dark over a light color. So I need to put a light color down. And I'm going to put the light color down. Let me get clean water. And I'm not going to put as much water down in this section. So I take a little bit of it off. And I got my clean water. I'm putting the clean water into this section. So it's more like a damp surface, not a super wet surface like that is. But it's still the wet and wet technique, all right? So now what I want to do is I want to put a light color down. So let me go with, I'll do the same color scheme. Let me go with complement. So I'm going to go with a light green. And cover the whole thing. Clean my brush, and then I'm going to use the complement again. I'm going to come into the red. Get a good amount of that red pigment mixed up. you can see it creates a complement shade. So I add that pigment, a lot of pigment, it creates a shade of red, mixes with the green. And at the edge there, sometimes it kind of creates a lightness. So you can still see a little bit of the transparency of the green underneath, but I also created a shade of red by using the shade complement.